Hey mate, welcome back to Factorio with me, Jenny. In our last episode, we built this wonderful ship that makes quantum processors here in space, which means rather than us having to fly around and pick up all the different components and drop them off at Quillo, we could just fly the ship around and make the quantum processors and drop them off at any planet that needs them. But whilst putting this ship together in the last episode, I realized there's a couple of little modifications, a couple of little things that I'd like to add to this ship, mainly, well, these. I would like to very much so upgrade our quantum chips here in space, because we went from making 60 on a Quillo per second to now making 120, but I'd very much like, well, to have legendary quantum processors. And if I don't have legendary quantum processors, maybe I can have the other items in legendary. I have legendary blue circuits, I already have tungsten carbide, I have superconductors. Carbon fiber's a little bit of an issue, and well, lithium plate I don't really have any of currently, at least not in legendary, and I could use those to make cryogenic plants. Also, technically, fusion power cells, and also maybe some science. We'll worry about that in the future. But for right now, this is the plan. But before we get into the plan, before we get into the obstacles we're going to have to encounter and overcome in putting this ship together, I need to ask that very important question. Of course, the very important question being, can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like. I like to borrow a like because we need to put this stuff together in space. And of course, in space, I can't put any containers in, which is going to make this an absolute nightmare. All right, the first thing I want to do is I want to move this section of the ship because, well, it's not doing anything important. So, well, it is doing things important, but I would definitely prefer if this was squeezed over on the right-hand side because it doesn't need to live here in the middle. So can we pick up all of this? Yep. And can I remove all of that and paste this back? Okay, first off, paste it there. Delete anything I don't need. Anything past that tile I don't need. Okay, pick the whole thing back up the second time. I'll take the beacons because they got in the way. And how close can I get this? I can get this here. Cool. I'm going to put this here. Can I put the beacons back? Yeah, I think they went there. All right, this is our asteroid inbelt. Can I, please? Thank you. And we're just going to drag high autosave, drag that to there. I'll definitely need to make sure that the fuel pipes line up. So you are going to go here, and that's that one done. And you're going to go here, and that's that one done. And this water pipe still connects. Our junk belt still connects, and in fact it could all go all the way down here instead. Can I put that there? Can I cut that? And we'll put that there. Actually, now we're so far down the hole, I can put it there. Cool, we'll just neaten up a few things along the way. That can go away, that can go away, and you just need to pop out a tile and go, sorry, back. And here, we can throw in another extra 3 solar panels. All right. That's a lot of junk going overboard when it first starts up, but that's fine. All right, so with that done, I have a little bit more space, put in a little bit more storage. I still can't squeeze storage through here, but I might need to because, well, the only storage box I have is this one. Sure, this one does have 13,000 inventory slots, which is going to be very handy, but I need to talk about exactly what we need to do. So, first off, I want to make all the different quantum processors, which means I need to get all 5 items out in all the different qualities for all of these guys. Plus, I need to run a whole stack of recyclers to, well, recycle all the standard quantum chips. First thing we need to do, as always, is start with an experiment. Can I copy you? Can I put you here? And can I put in quantum processors, which are here? And we're going to dump those in there. Okay, so this recycles 0.53 per second, which is not a lot. Really is not a lot. We're making 120 per second, which means if I wanted to recycle the whole belt's worth per second, please. Oh, God, no, it's worse than that. I need 480 of them? Really? We're making 123. And 489, sure. That does 260. Oh, no, I was looking at the wrong number. 240. Yep, math says that's right. So I'd need 240 of these to recycle this much. Obviously, I can't fit that on this ship, and I definitely do not want to make the ship bigger. Next thing you might notice is this still has 95 of these because its output, well, something on the ground, but it's also output a couple of items at normal quality And as long as they're still stuck in there, it can't output the next item, which happens to be a higher quality. Which means I can't use stack inserters. So I'd really like to put a stack inserter right here, make it legendary, of course, and have it pull items out. But the problem is it's only going to grab one item, and then I need a separate inserter for the next item, and then a separate inserter for the next item, the next item, the next item. That's 5 items for, well, uncommon, and then I need another 5 for rare, and then I need another 5. Yeah, so stack inserters are out of the question. So I need to output everything onto a belt, which is going to be probably a problem, because it doesn't matter how many of these I run. When we're doing, can I have you back and with the quality modules, please? When we do quantum processors, they output not a lot of stuff, but if I have 40 of these guys, that's a decent amount of stuff moving along one belt. And of course, if I'm doing it with quality, I'm going to have 5 different qualities all rolling along the same belt at the same time. And they're going to be unstacked, which means I might quickly overflow a belt. So this is something I need to work on. This is something we need to work out, how we can stack things on a spaceship without having the ability to use stack inserters and boxes. Because normally I would put down, well, actually, let's just go to Fagola. No, we're not stacking it there, but we are using, well, we're not doing it with quality there, but we are doing this method, okay? We put everything into a box, and then we have this guy filter to, well, if you're over 15 of that item, take that item out. And they probably could be legendary by now. Probably. But not an option here in space. Okay, problem number 1. Problem number 2 is I have the hub. The hub has, can I grab you? And can I filter you to nothingness? Has a limited number of slots that I can pick up and put out from. So, quick math says that is 16, 17, 18, 19. And I need to get out 5 items for uncommon. Plus I need to get out 5 items for rare. Plus I need to get out 5 items for epic. And then I need to get out another 5 items, thanks autosave, for legendary. And then I need to put everything back in. So, there's a couple of things I want to do to start with. First off, barrels. We're going to be putting barrels over here. Secondly, you're going to go away. I'm going to have you go up here, and I'm going to have you underground to here, and then from here to here, let's say, and then over to there, and bring that down to there. It's going to give me... I'm going to waste those. I prefer not to waste those, if at all possible. Can you go face that way? And can I do this? Alright, I'm going to do that. Okay, next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a couple of inserters just to start with. This is going to be my little loop. And this is where I want to dump items in. I'm going to just side load the barrels in. And that's how we're going to import everything. I have no idea how 3, 4, maybe inserters are going to keep up with all the junk we're going to be throwing at it. But that's going to be the plan. Next off, I have this pipe. This pipe is definitely my way. So we are going to not start there. We're going to start here. I'm going to run this pipe, preferably as far out of my way as possible. Is this in my way? I have no idea. Right, so, yeah, that's step number 3 or 4 or whatever up to. Okay. Step number 15 is, can I take my cheat sheet? These are all my cheat sheets. I've put down some stuff so I can do some copy pasting rather than having to go through all the different GUIs. But I need to get items out. And I think the easiest is with longhand inserters, okay? Now, these are intentionally normal quality, so I don't have to deal with this star interfering with all the different qualities of all the different items at the same time. It just gets confusing. Plan to upgrade them to, well, legendary when we're done, but for the right moment, I'm just going to deal with normal quality. Also, can I put that on both sides of the belt? Because that could probably be important. All right, so next thing I want to do is I want to work out how we get items out. So there's a couple of choices, many choices, and I think for the moment, I really need some of these to exist. Okay, oh, they already exist now. Cool. Can I start... Let's just start with this. Okay, if I start with this, can I have an underground? And actually, you could be a normal inserter. Yep. Can I have you get the hell out of my way? Great. All right, step one. And this is going to be uncommon. I'm going to start with uncommon. But I'm going to use normal items for right now. We'll change the filters over shortly, just so we can see where items travel on belts. So if I run a belt straight there, we can see this all jumbles together. That's not going to work for me. So if I have a belt go there, you're going to face out that way. If I have a belt go there, you're also going to face that way. That's not going to work either. But maybe... Let me remove you, put you back down. Okay, so you're here, you're here. I need to have you go out and then back in. That works. It's a little bit of a mess, but it definitely works. Okay, is there a better method I can come up with in very, very limited space? Because space is going to be my biggest issue, because I'm going to have another set of inserters right beside this lot that also have to do the similar sort of spaghetti. I could have you run into here instead. Okay, let's try that instead. Okay, so can I have you go that way? Can I have you go straight? Then I can pair those together. That's slightly shorter. That's nice. But now you're sticking out sideways, which could interfere with the next guy. Hope not. You're on the top side of the belt, so I could do this. No, because that's going to load onto, well, into the splitter. So I need another tile. That works as well. So that's also an option. But that's very wide. I prefer long rather than wide because I don't have a lot of width. So can we just hit the undo button a few times? Okay, so that's those two. All right, back to these two. And actually, can I underground that? And can I underground that? Can I take you out? Have you two merge like that? Hi, autosave, and then bring that back this way. Okay, that's probably better. And then you can go there and you can go there. All right, and have a belt here. Can I, instead of running this way, can I have this run? They have to face one another, so we get the right side of side loading, and then come out there. Okay, so you could go here, and because you're two separate undergrounds. Okay, can I improve that again? Can I go... Okay, can we remove this? Can we put you here instead? Delete this, undo it, so it clears the belts. And then I can have you go... So this is this item and this item. The order of items doesn't matter in the slightest. Can I delete this belt and replace it so it's clean? And that's still wider than I'd like, but it sort of works. I don't see a way of really getting this down to 3 tiles, or actually, so you are side loading to the right, but after you've done that, you can go left. How much further down you can go? You can go a lot. Okay. So you can come out here, and you can come out here, and you can go there. And technically, I've only used 3 tiles, okay? It's a very long amount of 3 tiles, but it's still technically 3 tiles. Yeah. Sure. All right. Can I remove that? Okay. Can I copy this, and can I paste it again? If I paste it again, in theory, everything comes out as required. It does. Cool. So can I take... this and paste it there, so it's going to change the quality. Can I change you to you? All right, can I take the blue quality and paste it there and pop that one to blue as well? All right, so we've done green and blue. Cool. Now we have a corner. All right, corner. In theory, I can do... You went to left, and I can't go to left anymore. Okay, can I try copying this horizontally flipping it, and then putting it there. And, no. Well, put it back, and can I copy those and put them there, and you there? Okay. That definitely does not work. That is definitely, well, this one works, this is a mess. So, I have carbon, and I have the superconductor. If I remove that, I can do that, and it's technically shorter. And I don't have any lithium plate, obviously. Okay, so lithium plate's going to have to go around the corner. And then I could do this. And that would be our third design. So you can be the epic. We're up to epic already. So then I just have to deal with legendary. Can I remove epic? And then, well, if we already have a working copy, well, that's far too long. I don't have that much space here. Because I still need to get return belts in. Okay, so we're going to have to come up with something new. Excellent. Can we do... Okay, can I do... well, can I do you? Can I copy you to there? Can I give you an underground and just get you out of the way? That seems to be the best way to do with that one. This. Can I go with... Okay, can I go with... very short underground, very short underground. Can I then bring this, which is on the inside of the belt, and you're on the right-hand side of the belt, which doesn't work for me. Can I put you there? I can't get into that. I need one of you to get on the outside of the belt. Can I put you here, 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 here? So you could technically join. You could technically do that. That's you solved. You can't because you're on the right-hand side and you're on the right-hand side. And I need you on the right and the left. Can I... Oh. Can I go down? Can I go this way, this way, this way? Remove that, clean it off, and replace it, and that works as well. So, lithium is over here, which now I don't really want it over there. Can I remove lithium? We're just going to put that there so we know we need to replace it. Can I remove these? Now we know we have a working prototype. We can slide you down a tile, so you move over a little bit. We could slide you... Do I want to slide you down a tile, or I want to slide you up a tile? No, I want to slide you down a tile. Okay, so you come out here, which is unfortunate. I'd really like you to come out either this tile or this tile, and I don't see a good way of that happening. I guess I could technically put this to here on underground, this to here on underground, merge them after the fact. Okay, well, look at that in 1 second. Okay, lithium plate. Can I put lithium plate here? Okay, you're done. You're out of the way. You're going to be in this tile eventually. All right, so it only comes down to this guy. Can I narrow this rather than it coming all the way around the outside? I prefer it if it wasn't all the way around the outside. And that is... The only way to do that is move this somehow. If I move that to there, that's not going to work. You need to really face one another. Okay, so I could put you on an underground here. That gets our blue circuits over here. You could underground, so then I can access the carbon fiber. Carbon fiber, I can't underground here, and I can't underground here because it won't go into the underground. So I'd have to go up, around, and down. After I go up, around, down, I could merge the two together and then slide them left, and then I freed up that tile. Every tile could be important because, like I said, I don't really want to make the ship any wider. Can I remove that and replace that and pop you there? Okay, so it just means that I need to change these guys to be legendary, and I need you to be legendary as well. Okay, so that should be all the different types that we require. Okay, So we should have uncommon, rare, epic, and then legendary. Yes, they're in different orders. It honestly doesn't matter. We just need to feed them into machines. Okay, so next thing I want to do is delete that and put them back so that all the belts have been cleared off. And we get to this part. I need to have, well, these work. They need to have multiple machines to make the different qualities of circuits. And then I need to, well, take all those circuits and recycle them. So we're going to come to this. This we already know is a working blueprint. And I would really like to place this here. But that means my output's on the far left. Is that going to work? I have no idea. All right, we're going to put you here. After that, we're going to put, well, we're going to put another one there. And then we're going to put another one there. Now, how many do I need at uncommon quality? No idea. All depends on how much recycling I can get into the system, which is also a no idea situation. And then I've sort of run out of a whole lot of space. So we're going to go with 6. 6 seems like a great answer to me. All right, if I have 6 of these guys, I want to horizontally flip. And then I'd really love to, you need separate beacons here. And then I'd like to have 8 of these guys. Can I change? Okay, first off, can I change you? Can I set you to be any quality? Because obviously we're going to be crafting things of different qualities. And the other belts, we're probably just going to remove all their filters because I'm probably not shoving things in the same filter that they were originally. Oh, also, can I change you, and you to stack inserters, because at least I can stack those ones. Okay, so I would bring uncommon, this would be my output. My output's obviously going to have to go down because I completely lack the space to go up. And you should also probably have a row of beacons over here, and I'm very, very, very much running out of space. You have 5 beacons, 7, 7, 7, 7, that's fine. Okay, so uncommon. We would bring item number 1 in here. Okay, so to keep things as narrow as possible, bring this all the way down and then in there. Then this will be item, well, belt number 2. This will be belt number 3. And please put the underground back. Okay, then this is going to be belt number 4, which is now in the rare variety, which comes into here, which is possibly a problem already. In saying that, if we look at the per second rate, well, of the one that runs at full speed, 5 per second is definitely manageable by a long head inserter. So I can actually just run the lithium plate into the long hand inserter without too much hassle. Great. Can I bring this one, one more tile, and into there, and then we can bring this one into here. Okay. And you're going to have to go down as well. Okay, that's the easy part. Now we have 6 more belts that I need to get into, well, 2 more builds. This one will be, can I copy from here to here? And horizontal flip, and have as much space as possible, and horizontal flip, and as much space as possible. This is going to be the epic one and the legendary one. I can already tell you, legendary wise, I probably only need 1 machine, but I need to have the ability to possibly have more. All right, so I need to get these 3 epic belts to here through this, which is going to lead to our first major hiccup. I am going to run, I'm going to remove this pipe because I can probably reroute the pipe elsewhere in the future. We're going to run, oh, that needs plugging in there. We're going to run this through this build. Okay, that was not too bad. And then after you go through this build, you can come into here. Great. Second belt. Second belt is, no, I'm going to come down. I'm going to come across. We're then going to underground to here. We're actually going to run through the beacons because there's enough room between the beacons to get this belt all the way down to here. What are we going to do when we get to legendary? No idea, but we'll worry about that then. Okay, can I run that to there? And can I also turn you to the right early and run you there? I want to keep a certain amount of straight belts. That way, if I run desperate out of space and I need to delete things, well, I can look for a chunk of straight belt where I have all the belts dead straight, and they're the pieces I can cut out, and then obviously move builds up and down by however many tiles. Okay, so that's epic done. And then that leads us on to legendary, which is the next 3 belts, which I don't have room to pass it through here anymore. So that implies I have to run them around the outside. I really don't want to run them around the outside. But oh, actually, no, I do see a choice. Okay, so can I run the first belt through here? Okay, sort of to be expected. We're going to run this one into there. All right, the next 2, we're going to run you down 1 tile across and keep you coming straight first. This tile, and then line up with the beacon. And you are going to go to here, to here, to here, to the beacon. All right, beacons. I can underground through 3 beacons, which is exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to lose some beacon coverage on the rares, but I can probably definitely live with that. Can I put you back? Can I delete you guys? And my output belts here. Okay, you need to go away so I can bring you down and into there, and then I can bring you down and into here. Okay, so with that done and that done, that should be everything. Now I'm gonna run my epic. Oh no, this is the output. You're just missing that guy, which is meant to be set to inequality. Very important. And you're also missing that one. And you're missing a couple of inserters. Okay, can I make sure these guys get put in here and also put in here? Yeah, that's going to be fairly important. All right, I'm going to run the epics straight into legendary. I'm also going to run the uncommons straight into rare, legendary, uncommon, epic. Just going to run the belt straight through because we just need to get everything joined together and then we can deal with them. Okay. I have not a lot of straight belts all lined up. No, there's not a tile there, and there's not a tile there. So I can't delete anything out of this spaghetti, not without rearranging it all. I could probably save myself a few tiles, but I think we're okay. Here, I can definitely delete 2 tiles, and I might want to, depending on how the pipes flow, because that's the other thing. All right, I want to get an underground from here. And actually go a lot further. Okay, underground from there to there. That'll bring the cool fluid down to this set and into this set. That means I just need to get cool fluid at the bottom. Cool fluid at the bottom. We should be able to do this, and then this, and then over here, where, there, and then, oh, well, that didn't line up, there. Okay, and hot fluid, well, I'm going to remove that pipe again. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to pick this up, minimum amount of tiles, and I want to slide this down so the cool fluid lights up. Okay, and then I need to have this go here, obviously. Okay, I need to have not these 2 tiles, I don't need them at all, and I need to have this come down here. Okay, and I have 6 machines, which will do 45. 45's a lot, and I probably don't need any more, but if I wanted more, I could do another one. Where are we? Here. I could do another pair here, which is not going to really take up any space. In fact, I'm still going to move the whole build down. So can I put you there? Can I remove that? Can I remove it? Just remove all of that. And can I grab from here to here, which we're going to place there. Okay. And then I'm going to move the whole thing down just a second. All right. And can I grab... Nope, I don't want that. I don't want that. Okay. Can I grab this? I'm going to put this one here. This underground needs to go through 3 beacons. And then come out here, technically. And I need this pipe to line up with that pipe to line up with that pipe, and I have 3 tiles. So we're going to pick up everything all the way up to here and slide the whole thing down 3 tiles. All the belts line up, hopefully, and that looks good, I hope. It doesn't. I feel like it. Okay, so you go here and you go out. That's the end of that belt. This is the end of this belt, which means you need to go down a tile. I forgot about the 1 tile separation I need between the end of one belt and the start of the next. This belt goes straight to here. This is an underground. Okay, no, I need one more tile. Okay, so can we pick everything back up? And whilst the red X is still there, slide the whole lot up one tile. Okay, so you go into there. You go across into there. You come down and go left and into there. You don't do anything. No, this is the belt that I need, which comes into here. And then you two just need those tiles and those tiles. Okay, so that's the build done. And I've moved my 2-tile gap to the top, which means I would like to slide that down. And then I'll get my 2 wasted tiles up here, just to try and bring things a little bit, give myself a little bit more room in this corner. Okay, so the cold pipe is done, the hot pipe is not done. So hot pipe is potentially here and here. All the hot pipes go through the whole build. So if I can get that plugged in, and then some sort of joining hot pipe in the middle, I just need to get to the hot pipe over here, which I can now move that beacon over there, and we can stop the hot pipe here. And that's all the hot fluid linked together. Okay, with that done, I can now move this pipe that I moved out of my way to remove out of my way. And then this becomes my playing ground over here for recycling. Cool. All right. So, recyclers, can I start off with a bunch of you? So we're going to go with you, and then you, and you, and that one, and that one, and that one, and that one. Do I need any of this? No, I hope not, but maybe. So we'll just put you out in space for the moment. And can I grab that? And go there. Okay, so I'm going to need a belt, which I don't need a lot of room for this belt. So we're going to slide this hard up against the pipe and then hard along the bottom. And I'm actually going to slide the whole build down a tile, because every tile could be important. I don't know which ones are and are not important, and I won't know until we get a finalized build. I'm going to slide a belt up there. Okay, on top of that, these guys happen to have a wire condition that's connecting every single one of them together, hopefully, with a read if they're working or not. I'm going to be using that signal shortly, so I want to make sure that that signal is maintained across the whole set of them. So can I put that there? Can I bring this to here? Can I grab you? Can I bring you here? And hi, autosave. Can I put this to here? All right. Do I have room for another set at the top? Probably, yes. Okay. Nope, undo. I need to copy 4 of them, so I keep that wire continuity, and those solar panels can go away. All right, output. Right there, actually. Okay, so that's going to be my output. That's going to be my output. I'm going to end those belts, and this is going to be my input. Now, my input is everything from here, being the legendary set, everything from the epic set, which is over here. And I'm going to have to bring these around together somehow. And I also want to grab normal ones as well, which, oh boy. Yep. I need this tile back. And the one beside it. Okay, so this is this one, which is blue circuits. Can I merge those? Okay, I want these 2 tiles. So can I remove you? Can I remove you? Therefore, I want to here and here. Okay. Therefore, you guys can slide out a tile. Okay, and then I need you to go into this belt. Cool. And then I need this, which was jumping down, and this was jumping down, which can't happen anymore. Can I have you go up? You go right. Okay, that would technically work. You're on the right side, which is the outside. You're on the right side, which is the inside, which means I can't have you jump straight down to there, which is unfortunate. But I could use an extra tile and then have that jump down. Just to confirm, can I copy those to there? And the legendary ones. Where'd I put the ones that I said I might not need anymore? Cool. Can I copy you guys and put this here? Okay. 2 items, 2 items, 2 items, done. All right, and change them back. And that crap is going to hopefully end up with a legendary area. Yep. Cool. Nice. Done. Can I delete that? Undo, 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 undo. All right. So, all right. So I need this belt to go to here, and then from here to here, which is unfortunate. You're gonna stick out a tile, but I think we're over trying to save every tile for right now. All right. I'm gonna have to have come down. So you're gonna have to come to here, come to here, come to here, come to here, and you can pop through the beacons as well. Cool. And then you can even pop through these beacons. And hello? Out you come. All right. So this is going to be everything. When I say everything, it's an awful lot of circuits. Okay. This is potentially epic, rare and legendary. And this is epic and uncommon. I only want to keep the legendary ones. Everything else to me is garbage. So what I want to do is I want you to have a split here. Okay. I want to have a small underground from here to here. And I want to take the legendary through to here. Now, this is going to eventually end up back up at the hub. How it's going to get there, what other process we have to do along the way, I'm not sure. But I want to have a signal on this bit of wire. Can I attach you to something? Here you go, attached to there. And I want you to be enable disable if circuits, quantum processors. There you go. Quantum processors legendary are less than 10,000, which means I need to get a signal from the hub down to there so I can count how many's in the hub. I'm going to be doing that with a radar because it's just so much easier. No, too far away. How about here? Cool. And cap another radar. Here. Cool. And then wire into that. Cool. And with that done, we can transfer the wire signal from up here all the way down here without me having to wire up half the ship. Okay. I want. I think I actually want the. Okay, I need you to be here. I need my underground to be here, and then I need my read wire condition because you came out in a really bad spot for me. Maybe you go this way. That's probably more likely. Okay, can I do this, and you can't reach anymore. Can I go to there? Okay, and you're still set legendary 10k. All right. So this is gonna be no, I need to do more. Okay, can I have you priority right, and then on the right, I want you to filter legendary on your other right. That means that we're down here now, and then re-merge back together, input priority right. Yeah. So that way I can just splice out the legendaries from this mixed belt, which will have both of them. Technically, I could probably run the other belt around the outside, but this will do. This will do. And then you can go here, and it just means this needs to go down as well. Cool. All right, so this is going to be, well, legendary, rare, and the other belt. And actually, I'm going to read off this wire instead. I'm going to stop this wire so I can move you back a tile. All right, so over here, we're going to have the other qualities, and that should be all the random qualities mixed together. Okay, I want you to have an input priority from the right, being, this split up, merger, and then I want to bring this one in. But before I do that, I want to add some wires. So we have 22. Can we get? I can't fit 2 more, can I? No, but I can fit 1 more. I want 1 more. It's giving me not a lot of room at the top to maneuver things. Can I move these pipes? I can move these pipes down. Ooh. Can I move you to here? And then you to here. I need to put that back. And I need that to be back as well. And you're going to have to be up a tile further, but that's fine. And then I can go there. And I can put this here instead. Yep. And then I can get this to here. This corner. It fits. It fits. Can I remove that? Yes, you still work. Okay, so I can remove that. I can remove that. This radar can become that solar panel. And okay, first off, let's start with this part. Can I just pick up this whole thing and slide it down a few tiles to here? I don't want to overlap with the pipe, do I? I could probably work around the pipe. I could definitely work around the pipe. Okay, I'm gonna put you there. Can I have a underground come out here, which goes into there, which we're gonna wire into? You're gonna be this one. This one, legendary, sorry, is less than 10k. This pipe needs to go here. Yep, gonna copy that, and then we go there, and then we go there, and there, and there. Solved. Okay. Can I grab these 4? These 4 in the belt, and then I come up here, and I can also come up here. All right, just a little bit more recyclers. Okay, this belt needs to come into here, which we can just jig this outer tile, and this all stays the same. This now comes down to here instead, which is probably beneficial, and my legendary underground won't go there anymore. It needs to go. Okay. Can I have this go straight through? Can I tie this up?
Job's done.
Just had to rearrange everything around a tile or two. All right. So at this point, I have everything merged together. The legendary has been slid off. It's going to pass through the middle. It'll get up to the hub. This is going to be the main belt in for the other stuff, which I want to bring. Well, no, it's going to have to be that tile. I want to bring, can I remove that? Can I put you in there? All right. Next thing I want to do is I now have 24 in a row. Okay. So I want to side load first. That's going to be very, very important. So I can put half as much on the belt. Can I side load you there? Perfect. All right. I want to wire into here. And I want you to be, here. And I want you to be enabled if recycler buildings recycler is less than 24. Okay, so the belt's only going to move if not all of them are running, because I don't want to fill up the belt with just junk. I would really like to have it only work when it needs to. You, rather being 24, are going to be 48. Okay, and then you're going to be 24. Okay, so that's those. Next thing I want to do is I need to fit in the other items, but I also want one of these. Can I get a red wire from there to here? How far can you stretch? That far. Okay, can I get red wire? Red wire. No, can I put you here? Can I get you get a friend? Can I get a red wire from that one? And then can I get another one? I get a red wire here. I get a green wire between the two of you. A green wire into, no, back a bit. Green wire, yes. Okay, and then I want a green wire into that tile. Okay, what I want to do is I want to add them all together. So I want to have recycler. Where is buildings, recycler, plus 0, output recycler. That's it. And that's it. But I'm going to move it from a red wire to a green wire, because if I connect all the red wires together, this is going to read everything. But with that done, I can now say I have 96 of them. So if, can I copy this to here? If recycler is less than 90, let's say, this belt's allowed to run. I'm going to paste that in there. And it's going to start up straight away. But as it starts up, we should notice that 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and this belt has stopped. Can I do this belt instead? I don't know. Looks like I can. Cool. And this belt stops because they're all running. And this belt is still 18. Because they're all jammed. All right, jamming. Next thing I need to do is I need to get things in the hub. So we need to have this go left, this go left. I then want to bring one belt this way, and one belt this way. And then I need to delete that, and we're going to have to come up here, and, or actually probably here and here. Okay, now, I have a lot of stuff on the belts already, which is a problem. So what I want to do is I want to stack the belts, that's for sure. And I want legendary, and can I just get a whole row of them. And I want, very importantly, override stack size, I want 4. And can I copy that to all of them, and that to all of them? Can I remove you? Okay, things that I might not need anymore. This. Will you fit still? Not really. Okay, can I copy half of that? No, can I copy that half? All right. I want to stack items. I want to stack epic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I want these to have override stack of 4. Did I lose that? If I do that first and then do this, okay, it deletes it. That's a shame. Okay, override stack size of 4. Can I? There you go. All right, so I need to set all these manually. So we have rare and we have epic. Both of these have already been set with the stack size of 4. And then I want uncommon. Probably helps if I set each one of them rather than just all of them to the same thing. And these are going to be having the full stack size of 16. Same with normal quality, because I'm going to have a lot of uncommon stuff and also a lot of normal quality stuff that I'd like to get rid of. Okay, with that done, this becomes my master template. So what I want to do is I want to bring my belts, and we're going to have uncommon here, and normal quality here, let's go with. And can I move this up higher? And can I remove that guy? Can I cut that? Can I put you, say, here? And also here. Hopefully. Yeah. All right. So this needs to squeeze through here. And there's the auto research queue working hard. Oh, we're doing rocket part productivity. There you go. And then I want to plug this. Oh, first off, I need a belt through the middle to catch everything. And then I want to do you two after this lot. Okay, can I do this? No. Okay. I need you. This is going to have all our uncommon. So let's do the uncommon first twice. I want to do this and delete that. Okay. And you're going to come over here and through there. Okay. So first belt's going to go into here. All right. Second belt is delete. Second belt is going to go like this. And this is going to be the other belt from the recyclers. And I'm out of belts. Yay. Okay. Upper tile across and into there. And I need you to go here. And I need you to go here. Okay. And then I want these two belts to face one another and do another merge. And I need to move everything over by tile. Cool. That deletes a whole lot of resources. Fine. We need a ship that works, not anything else right at the moment. Okay, you go to there and you can go here, and I really wish I'd moved you over tile. Cool, done now. And then you're going to go in there. You're going to finally stack the epic and the rare items, and then finally, assuming everything has been stacked or hasn't been stacked, there are definitely things that are going to slide past that don't have a chance to get stacked. We need to bring it out to our input. Cool. Our input, I now have room. I can't get to this tile. I can't get to that tile. Okay, I now have room for a number of inserters, so we're going to bring this around like that, and then back to there. I need to have a splitter, and you need to be input priority from the right with a filter of nothing, and we're going to plug that in there. And we can see there's already a whole bunch of stuff that's not stacked right at the end of the belt, because yes, this is an imperfect system, but hopefully, if all goes well, it should get the belts delivered. Hello? Okay, they're on their way. And it should work, and we should see this fire up. So give me a couple of minutes to see if we actually get things fired up. Okay, things are going back in. And things are coming out. And we can see that the belt full of junk rapidly disappears and has less junk. Might need to look at... No, actually, the stuff's making it past the end, so more inserters would be nice, which means I'd have to tidy up this somehow and get an extra tile back, which I can probably do. So I'm going to take a minute to do this. At the same time, I need the ship moving, because we're going to rapidly chew through all our resources, which means we're going to have to go resupply some more. So let's give it 10 minutes. 10 minutes to see how well the system boots up and gets running. We do have all the cool fluid is joined together, all the hot fluids joined together. So yeah, we just need a couple of minutes to see how well this does. We're up, we're flying, we're doing really well. In fact, actually, well, there was a couple of minor mistakes, which all had to be fixed, but once they were fixed, we're up and running quite well. In fact, we're making legendary, not super fast, but we're definitely making them. On top of that, we're making plenty of epic, a whole lot of rare. The uncommon is a little bit overboard most of the time, but you know, that's pretty common for uncommon. And well, our total count in so far is 720 of the legendary circuits. Of course, we have our 20,000 in reserve. And well, we've made, well, actually we just made a few more. Also, we are going through about 1,000 barrels each time we take a trip around the system, but I'm about to increase this to 40k. Yeah, which is probably going to chew through a whole lot of resources, but that's perfectly fine because this ship is now in charge of, well, just flying around, picking up all the resources itself, dropping the barrels back when they're done, and at the same time, this is now going to be in charge of dropping barrels off to Narvis, dropping our quantum chips off to Narvis, which now has a couple of dedicated rocket silos, and all they do is launch quantum chips. So when the Enders here finally arrives back and needs its quantum chips, it can pick them up from Narvis, same place as picking up the biter eggs, and we're off to the races. But with all that said and done, I'm going to leave this video here. I'm very, very proud of this ship, and I'm also proud that we're now making, well, those particular circuits. Also means I can wire in these guys in the future and have them stop outputting once we hit, well, the 10,000 limit. Although I'm pretty sure I'm going to change that 10,000 limit to 20,000. Actually, no, I'm pretty sure I already have, because yeah, we use an awful lot of them to make any of these items, so 10,000 is probably not enough. 20 is probably a better number, but with all that said and done, like I said, I'm going to leave this video here. If you're interested in a particular blueprint, rather than putting the ship together yourself, they are available on my Patreon. Just my way of giving back to those who choose to support the channel, my little bit of appreciation. And if you want, you can just pop on there and just support the channel because you want to. But with all that said and done, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.